Ray.
Hey, everybody in internet land.
Welcome to 2022.
Yeah, 2022.
Welcome. Happy New Year, guys. We took last week off. We just had a lot of busy stuff going on. We had our own priorities. So, yeah. And guys, be safe out there. I know there's a pandemic, but hey, we're back to normal, right, guys? This is how it all started, where we were just talking at home.
Welcome to the year 2022. COVID-2, the sequel.
Yeah, exactly. So I see a whole bunch of people in chat. This is crazy.
Yeah.
They want to know if they get the money.
Yeah.
Then they gotta leave.
First of all, Brian Frober, he's one of our regulars. He said, "Nice shirt, Northeast Mike."
Yeah.
That's awesome. Zelda. I love Zelda. I actually played the new the NES version. I finally finished it. And Yodi's saying, thanks Kapow's Arcade Adventure for everything he's saying to him. So yeah, they're having their own conversations out in chat.
Yeah, a lot of people gave the Wind Waker a lot of crap for being cell shaded, but I thought it was awesome myself.
That's one I've never played.
Really?
I've only played the classic ones.
This image is kind of modeled after the Wind Waker, which was the cell shaded one, and I think it's a great game. Right.
So let me put you guys full screen. I know we're still waiting for Troy to get set up. You see his profile picture there. He's still kind of getting in. He was driving in, and he's like, "Yeah, I definitely want to participate this week." So if you guys haven't heard, we had a contest for $100 total. It was kind of like clickbait, but it was really to celebrate my 5,000 subscribers. I actually won a gift card for $100 from Arcade Parts and Repair. So I decided, I talked to Peter. I said, "Hey, can I transfer this to someone else and use it as a winner and kind of promote your place?" He said, "Sure, no problem." So he was gracious enough to let me do that. And he also split it into 2 5 numbers. So it's 2 $50 gift cards. So I picked the winners. I tried, I talked about doing it live, but the software is not very friendly when it comes to that. The interface is horrible. So I did randomly generate it. I took a screenshot, and then I'll just show you guys a screenshot a little later. So that's the way we did it. Cool. So you guys want to start with updates or what? Who wants to go first? Jeff. Mike's always last. He always has stuff to show us, so he's preparing.
My updates are quick. I've been working on the Pac-Man, Junior Pac-Man and Super Pac-Man cabinets. They're all sanded, and the insides of the cabinet and the backs are all painted, so they're ready for vinyl on this weekend, actually. And yes, I'm not stenciling either cabinet. I'm vinyling both. So sorry for the purists out there, but I'm not doing it.
And where'd you get that Super Pac? It looks to be in great shape.
Yes, that was Dell's Super Pac that he gave me, the empty cab.
Did you have to redo any Bondo? Probably a little bit here and there, right?
Just a little bit at the bottom, but that was a quick one. The Junior Pac needed more because there was some areas that were delaminating on the bottom. But your cab was pretty good after I sanded off all the paint and stuff that was on it.
Cool. Well, what'd you do with the other cab? You trashed it already or gave it away?
The Super Pac that I had, I trashed it. It was literally coming apart at the seams. So.
It was waterlogged and stuff.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot because usually they're plywood, right? And they're pretty sturdy. So for that thing to be coming apart, it's not MDF. So
yeah.
Wow.
But
all right, who's next?
That's it for my update.
Well, as you can see, no virtual background today because
you
guys
got it
made fun of me earlier. I'm taking the next step in moving games from the room that's just off to whatever side that is for you folks to behind me because I'm running out of room. And
so you took that episode to heart.
When
we were trying
my wife
we were
said
talking about
one game in
space
here, and you can see I've got 2, and I could fit 2 more, but she wants to put a desk in here, and I don't know what's more important, games or her desk. So
desk,
Jimmy, come on.
Someone's gonna win that one. I hope it's me. But I finished moving everything around out there. Now I have to plug things in, and I can get back to working on Space Shuttle. Actually, that's next.
So real quick, I want to put Brian up here on the spot, our own Brian Urich. What did he say here? He said, Jeff secretly told me he's selling all his games and just buying 1-ups instead. I guess he needs more room. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
All right, Jay, go ahead. Since you're on the screen.
I have very little in the way of updates. I don't remember if it was the last time we tried to get on that I told you guys this or not, but I'll reiterate it. I finally broke my 60,000 point. Actually, first goal was to get to 60,000 points, and the very next day I broke it on pole position, and I got 62,000. So thanks to my driving coach Timmy.
Nice job, buddy.
For hooking a brother up. So that was like my most accomplished thing I've done arcade-wise in the last couple of weeks.
And you told me that your dip switches were a little wacky. That's probably helped you out, where you were playing harder, and then now that you said it correctly. What'd you say?
Don't talk about my wacky dip switch.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm just saying your dip switches were off. So now that they're set correctly, now you're like, whoa, this is easier than I thought, because you were really playing it harder, right?
Yeah, well, easier in the sense that I can actually do 4 full laps. The game kept timing out at the 3rd lap, and even though the dip switch on that bank was set correctly, when I went into the test menu to look at the settings, it showed that it was still only registering 3 laps and not 4. So that's when I knew something was off with the dip switch. So that was that one update, and then the only other update I had has to do with my arcade 1-up pinball machine that I think I sent you guys the pictures. I changed out the shooter knob and put on this really cool Death Star knob, which I think looks way better than how it came from the manufacturer. And that's all I've had time to do in the last 2 weeks with the holidays. So that's it.
All right, cool. So who's next here? Let me look here. We got, let's see, Mike, I guess, and Brian. Well, Brian, do you want to go before Mike or after? Because I know you have some stuff. We were talking about actually picking up possibly a pinball, but you also have some other news that you put money down on.
Yeah, I'll go before Mike. So,
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we almost got the Arcade Underground going with a pinball machine. Unfortunately, I missed out. There was somebody on Pinside posted basically a Project Shadow for a pretty good price, but it was in West Virginia, and so we got the Arcade Underground kind of working there, and I figured out I could make it happen.
I love that Underground Railroad.
within 10 minutes, it was already gone, so I missed out on it.
Damn.
Yeah.
I will add though, Brian, that within 10 minutes of you asking, we already had a plan in place to get you the game.
And that was through 3 people, right? Like, one guy was going to pick it up from you. I was going to get it from you.
Yeah, it was going to be.
You guys haven't seen Steve yet, by the way. All the people in chat and online who's watching this. Steve is just, you've probably seen him in other videos in Fireball Arcade, but he's one of our pals too. He comes on every now and then. Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
Oh, that's all right. And and the other update, because I haven't really, another non-arcade related update is I've been having issues with my 3D printer. I've got a Prusa Mini, and it's been clogged a whole bunch of times, and I've literally taken it apart probably 4 or 5 times, and it kept getting clogged, and I think I finally fixed it tonight.
Oh, nice. So you printed a test. Cool.
Test cube there. So I think I'm gonna bite the bullet, and I'm gonna get the new Rush pinball machine that Stern just announced.
Yes. I love Rush.
I love
Kapow's
face during this.
Wow.
What's that? Let me see this. Let's do it again, Jay. I didn't have you on the screen there. You don't like Rush?
I love Rush. What do you mean?
Oh, I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna. No, they're such a good group.
Not at all, man. I think it's awesome. I just wish I could live more vicariously through Brian.
Yeah, his kids are grown though, so he's good to go. But he's traded up, right? I can remember when your first was Comet, right? It's the first.
Yeah, first was really Comet. Inexpensive single ball game, but I think I'm gonna do I'm gonna get the Pro version, which is the less expensive of the 3 models anyway.
Like $68.99 that's less expensive.
Hey, it's a slippery slope, right? I mean, how long ago did you have that Comet, Brian?
not that long ago.
And how many pinballs have you had between Comet?
I've bought and sold like I don't know, like a dozen, half a dozen, or 8 maybe by now. I don't know.
See, it goes pretty quick. You're like Jay, like with his arcades.
I would say that Brian took this to a whole nother level, dude. Like I remember the night we all got together when he got his first pin, which was the Comet, and dude has literally like has not stopped.
I mean, he streams too.
Yeah,
it's Homer J 123. Is that your handle on Twitter?
Yeah, which I've been
on Twitch.
I've been on kind of a hiatus for a while, but I need to get back, and I'll probably end up doing maybe some lunchtime streams. It's just easier.
Right. But you still have past streams that are saved, right? People can watch.
Actually, no. Twitch only keeps your past streams for a very short period of time before they purge them out of there.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So if you want to.
I have to ask though, dude, like being buddies and knowing like your interest in like pop culture and music, you chose Rush, but you didn't choose The Mandalorian or Led Zeppelin or AC/DC. Like, what was it about this one that you were like, oh no, that's it. That's my first brand new pin.
Or Guns N' Roses.
Can I answer?
I think Mike knows the answer. Yeah.
Because he couldn't get a Mandalorian. You kidding? If that was a possibility, he would be all over it. And he probably will, mark my words. Yeah. He probably will use this at some point as trade bait.
Yeah. That's very, very possible. So the issue right now is supply chain issues, and you can't get a lot of machines that are still currently in production. And what happens is every time they come out with a new one, all the other ones that they've just released before that get sidelined. So if you don't get one on release day, you're going to have a really hard time finding one. So I finally was like, I need to bite the bullet and get this one. And I figure worst case scenario, if I don't like it, I can trade for a Mandalorian or any of the other.
Yeah, they're desirable no matter what. Yeah.
Because right now, current in production Stern machines that they can still actually make, they just don't have time to make them, are actually going for more than they were when they were brand new.
Right.
Because you just can't get them. I know people that have Deadpools and Mandalorians and things on order, and they may not get them this year. They may not get them until next year.
Wow.
Unless they get it used where somebody.
Yeah, we have a friend in the local area who has ordered a Godzilla, right?
Yeah, he got a Godzilla, yeah.
And he's not sure whether he's getting it this year or not. As in, not in 2022. Mm-hmm.
There's a guy. Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, I just to wrap up, like, I finally decided to bite the bullet, and I am a Rush fan. I'm not a super fan, but I am a Rush fan. So I figure it's a music pin. I like music. I like their music. Hopefully it's got some cool mechs in it, which it does. And again, like I said, worst case scenario, the way things are right now, I can always trade it for a equal or more valued machine.
So how was the process in buying that? I mean, did you...
So it's not fully complete at this point. So with Sterns, you have to buy them through a distributor. You can't buy them from Stern. So you have to find a distributor you can buy them from anywhere in the United States, but you can find them locally. I think there's one in Connecticut. There's a guy that's in Massachusetts, and there's actually a distributor now that's up in Lewiston, Maine, which is not too far. It's a couple hours from my house, and because I live in Maine as well. And they are and the thing I found is that if you can find a fairly new distributor that's not a well-known one, you are more likely to get a machine from them, because a lot of these other bigger name distributors that people like to use, they've already got so many customers, it's hard to get them. And the newer ones are hungry for business. So I literally texted the guy up in this Lewiston place and was like, hey, and this was before they had officially actually announced. Everybody knew what it was going to be, but they hadn't actually come out with the new press release that said, this is what we're coming out with. So I messaged the guy and was like, hey, do you have like a waiting list for this new game that's coming out? And he goes, yeah, I'll put your name on it. And I said, are you going to get any first runs of the pro models when they make them? And he goes, yeah, I should get at least a few. So if you put your name on the list, you should be able to get one when they first come out. So in theory, in a month or so from now, I'll have it.
Dude, that's pretty awesome.
Unboxing live stream on Twitch.
I can, yeah. I can do an unboxing, yeah.
I think that should be a Delusionals exclusive where he heads all the way up to Brian's and does a live stream there.
And catches COVID and comes back down. No. Or I can give him. No. But yeah, so going to this, I'm actually going to quickly plug everything real fast. You guys, as you already know, if you're getting notifications, it's because you're subscribed to my channel. But don't forget, also, Gibby, you can turn down the sound. I can hear it. And also, I'm on Twitter where I usually announce stuff. I announce contests and winners. So I'll put the results for the winners on there as well. And then, of course, on Instagram, I like to post pictures of stuff I'm working on. It's usually easier than editing a whole video together. So I've posted a lot of stuff I worked on with Jeff at his house and stuff. So, all right. So who's next for updates? Is it Mike left? Timmy, did you go yet? I can't. Yeah, you did, because you said you moved everything around. Yeah, it looks really good behind you, by the way. I love that.
I mean, there's just 2 games.
It's badass.
So did Troy go too, or no?
It's yeah, Gibby needs to go. Mike needs to go.
Okay. Draw straws.
Troy, you want to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Sorry, a little technical difficulties there getting started. But yeah, so we had to get prepared for a New Year's Eve party. We had a big New Year's Eve party here at the arcade. Probably had like 25 or 30 people show up. So that was pretty fun. Other than you guys, that was kind of the first party we've hosted. But I had a lot to get done to get ready for the party. So a lot of things got fixed, and a lot of things have now broken again. So pretty typical,
That's the nature
right?
of the beast.
Pretty typical.
Yeah.
So reactor is down for like the 5th time. Karate champ took a crap. I did get cruising
power supply stuff though. It's not the boards, right?
I haven't dug into it yet. It's still I just turned it off. And
how about Zookeeper? Is it up?
It's working.
All right.
Nice.
That big old score that Dustin put on it was still there.
Yeah, Dustin. So here's the story. Dustin actually got 10 million, over 10 million, right?
Yeah.
He got an 8 million point jump. I had never, the most I got was like, well, we're talking in the past now, right?
Yeah.
But I got a 4 million point jump is the most I've done. I've done a 4 and a 2 in one game, but Dustin, here he is just fotzing around. Then right, Troy, you were saying he was screaming. Tell a story.
Oh no, he was keeping it very low key. He's like, oh yeah, I came upstairs. Yeah, y'all need to come look at my score. I was like, what are you talking about? I said, I saw the little, look like a bird, or the cat ate the bird, kind of look on his face. And I was like, okay, so you got your 2 million that you've been shooting for. And he goes, no, I did a little bit better than that. Go downstairs and look, and he's got like 10 million, which he was shooting for Dell's score. Dell had what? It was 9 million and something.
It was 9,900,000. I was so close to 10 and I died.
So he got a little over 10, and he was like, yes, I beat Dell. I'm the man.
Yeah, me and him, it's fun. I think it's fun competing.
Savant, Zookeeper guy. I mean, Dell's very good at Zookeeper. I mean, he'll crush anybody on any given day, typically. So that was just a lucky jump that Dustin got, 8 million. And
an 8 million point jump.
But I mean,
so he can never go back now. Now he's gonna keep trying to get it now, which is good.
Oh man, he's like, Dell's gonna play every day, 20 times a day until he beats me now. So it didn't last long.
Well,
so Dell can kind of like.
At first I did. At first I did. Yeah, I was like, let me try, and then I gave up, and then I was just busy with work. And then one day, this is like maybe 3 or 4 days ago, I had a crappy game. I lost all my guys, and I'm on an early board, like one of the line boards, and the simple line boards, like the first or the second, and like the stars aligned, and I'm like, I'm just gonna kill myself. So I went to jump over them, knowing I'd die, and I made it, and I got a 15 million point jump.
Oh!
So
15 million. That's
16
amazing.
something. It was like 16 million was my final score, 16.7 or something like that. But
Oh,
you
Dustin
know.
sent a little emoji to send to you, but I haven't sent to you yet.
Oh yeah, you got to send it to me. Did
It's
you show him
like
the score?
one of those little fingers, might have been this one in the middle.
What? Yeah. What did he say? I was curious when he said when you showed him my score.
He says, I'm surprised it took him that long.
That was a fluke too. It was just like I was like, holy crap. And it was like maybe like 1:32 in the morning. I got home from work late and everybody's sleeping in the house. I'm in the basement, but still I'm like stifling my scream like, holy crap. Like I couldn't believe it.
So if the people out there, if they're not Zookeeper players, they just don't understand how big of a accomplishment that is. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think 30 is the highest, right? The highest you can get in one jump. It's all 17 guys. Yeah.
I mean, if you get that, you're shooting for the world record, right?
Shh, we won't talk about that yet. Yeah. You have my boards actually, but I do have that was on a J-Rock, by the way. So
so that's a point we haven't discussed. Dustin kind of asked, well, does that count? Because is Dell playing on?
Oh, he's drawing. He's like grabbing at straws now.
He's like Dell's playing on a fake board. He's not playing on a real machine like.
Oh, it's not fake. But yeah, but I do. If I didn't own one, it'd be worse. But I'm sure you said, well, he does have a board now. So
well, you have the boards, but they have to be in your machine.
Yeah, I was telling people. I was talking to Alex, from Nintendo Arcade that we had on a couple weeks ago. He was saying I instantly, because he's a different time zone, so he was the only guy I could tell that would actually maybe be awake by the time I went to bed. Like I emailed him like 3 a.m. or something. So anyway, he was like, "That's amazing, that's crazy," And I told him that with the J-Rocks I'm practicing, and then once I get the real boards, it shouldn't be much different. I feel like they're exactly the same. I've played both, so
I don't know. I think
it's not technically. You're right. It's not official until I get the real boards.
The speed is a little.
It's pretty close.
The speed is a little different.
Yeah. So real quick, I want to just go and give a shout out to a couple people. So we have D Como 76. That's our very own Drew from Long Island. What's going on, Drew Como? We also have Mikey Currington who joined, and of course he's like a legend with this, but he gave us another super chat here. He said, "This is not a bribe for the contest, no sir." So that's pretty cool. He's the man. He's always giving towards the cause, which is great. I really appreciate it. Noah goes back right into the channel. Let's see, who else do we have on here? We got Mark. He put, by the way, he loves the 720 cab, Troy. So, that's something that I'm sure, that everybody's talked about almost every week, every time they see it.
Give me the one I got for $300.
Rub it in, of course,
Hey, Del, so far my favorite comment in the chat is from Ted Hooper, who says, "Zookeeper, meh."
That's because you hate that
game. Him out of the chat here.
You know what? I was not going to put him on the screen, but I'm going to do it right now. There you go. Zookeeper, meh. It's official.
And I said, "Yes, good sir."
Yeah. But
no,
yeah,
Mikey, I have gotten a 1 million point myself. 1 million point jump, but that's the highest I've gotten.
Yeah.
I got a 30,000 point jump once.
You got a what?
Yeah. 30,000 is pretty good when 30,000.
I love the utter silence as soon as he said that. It was like nobody.
I mean, to be upfront, I mean it's $100 per jump for one guy, but the more you jump, the more it goes up. So if it's really cheap at 100, when you get 30,000, that's a lot, and you get a few 30,000, it adds up. So you're on your way to 1 million, Jeff.
Yeah. Someday.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so we're gonna leave the best for last. So we got Northeast Mike going on. You have anything going on? What are you brewing over there?
No, I got nothing.
Nothing. You were working on stuff. Nothing you want to divulge to the public.
Yeah. No. I got stuff as usual. Brian and I last week took care of long overdue work of replacing the batteries in my Simpsons with an NVRAM kind of thing, and did the same thing to my new Dracula, so we can now play those and not have to, every time I turn them on, I don't have to set all the settings. So that's an update down there, and been playing the game. You know, my new Dracula and Rick and Morty. Yeah. I got in my screens that I told you guys. A project I'm doing is you guys know I got a 1964 Pepsi machine, and I got these little screens in, and these are going to be used behind every soda choice to show the soda, image for each
You were
soda.
serious? I didn't think you were.
Yeah.
I thought you were just kidding around.
No.
Wow.
No, I got a whole bunch of them right here. A whole bunch of screens. Wow. So
That's so cool.
So yeah, if you guys missed it, check out the playlist. I made a whole playlist with the Dell's Roundtable, and he talked about it in a whole episode. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were kidding.
How much do those screens cost, Mike?
Cheap as hell.
Seriously?
I got 6 screens, one extra than I needed, with shipping from China for like $57.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and these are IPC screen, IPS screen, sorry. And they're pretty cool because the way they work is they can be driven, constantly, but you can also drive them and then they remember what they're supposed to display. So you really only have to, I would set it to the Coke image or whatever, and then I'm done talking to the screen and it'll just stay doing it.
Wow.
So I don't have to constantly refresh it like I would a real, computer screen, You just have to fill it and it'll continue to refresh it.
Cool.
But what I'm probably going to do is on some of them, I'll probably, I found a nice one for ginger ale where the bubbles are bubbling and moving up. So I'll probably have that as an animated one.
Oh, that's cool.
But the original gist of that I told you is because with those older soda machines, there's no such thing as free play. You can't make it so that it dispenses a soda without putting in a quarter. I mean, yes, you could do something and put a switch somewhere, but I don't want to do that. So I'm putting in a Raspberry Pi so that when you press the Coke button, the Raspberry Pi gets that, then it does a coin up internally and then dispenses the Coke. So, and yes, Coke and a Pepsi machine. Yeah, there's irony. I got both Coke and Pepsi, but
which do you like better? The taste test. That's going back to the 80s.
I kind of like both. It's kind of like, to me, it's like wine. You have to choose the right soda for the right circumstance.
I'll drink either.
I totally agree with that, Mike.
I mean, the line between Pepsi and Coke is a little bit close, but for instance, to me, Mexican food always is a Dr. Pepper. Pizza is always a Coke. If I have a burger, it could go several different ways there, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm like grape soda when it comes to pizza because I remember, as a kid, that's what you get. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And if it's going in bourbon, it has to be Coke.
Yeah,
Not
Pepsi's
that you
too
could
sweet.
be putting it in your bourbon, but
Yeah.
when you do.
Oh, that kind of the wrong Coke.
Well, you know what? I don't think I've given this update, and so this will be interesting, and we can even talk about this a little bit because I want to hear your all feedback on this. So, as you guys know, I bought the Mr. Multi-System board from Retro Man Cave or RMC.
Oh,
from
yes.
UK. Well,
oh, yeah.
I bought some 5-volt adapters so that one would be to drive this, but their original purpose is really for doing the LED strip stuff. And so I went to, put everything together. I'd finally gotten everything I needed, the fans, the little pieces, and I'm putting it all together and I'm ready to test it. And I hook it up and I turn it on and instantly smoke starts pouring from the board. I'm like, holy crap. And I immediately disconnect the power.
Was it magic smoke?
Yes, it was. It was the blue magic smoke. Yes. And I have pictures. So, I can show you the smoke chip. I'll bring it up real quick as I'm continue talking about this. But
Yep.
I want to know what, so in the end, what I found out was that the power supply, while labeled 5 volts, was actually a 12-volt power supply.
Ooh.
So you ordered
I
five.
ordered 2 identical power supplies at the same time. One of them actually puts out 5 volts. Both are labeled exactly the same, and I'm going to show those pictures. I'm going to make sure that
Let me know once you get it, and I can.
Yeah, okay. I've got it set up so I can share. All right, I'm ready to share
Go
my
ahead.
little screen here. All right. Okay, so here's the power supply, and you'll see it's labeled 5 volts at 15 amps. And I have 2 identical power supplies, but one of them doesn't put out a weird voltage or a fluctuating voltage. It puts out exactly solid 12.45 volts.
Wow.
Yep. Well, the other one puts out exactly 5.1 something volts. Okay. And here is the blown chip.
Oh my God. It's like a custom. It's not like something you could take out.
Dude.
It's not fortunately, it is not a custom chip. It's also a very cheap chip.
It's a surface mounted is what I meant.
It is a surface mount. In my case, I can probably fix this. Okay. I've already ordered the chip. It's coming from China because the chip they chose was not a US made part. And at any rate, it's coming from LCSC. But I do also.
So your
have a
actual Mister is what? Man, that's like a $200 mistake. Not on their part, really. Did you contact them and tell them?
Oh, I am. I'm currently arguing with them, if you will, because they were like, "Oh, we don't do that." And I've sent them pictures now, and we're going back and forth. So I don't know what's going to end up happening there. But fortunately, in my case, right, I can fix this problem. I have a hot air rework station. I've ordered the chip. I'm going to fix it. Okay. But imagine the general public customer. Okay. And so I want to know what you guys think. Really, who should be liable, if at all? I mean, like, the average customer would not check the voltage of a power supply they order, right?
No, exactly.
I mean, I would.
Right.
I could
not
have
the normal. Right. I get you.
Right.
Yep.
And
like not everybody has a multimeter.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Mike, do you think is it actually possible that power supply could fail in a very specific way so that it would put out 12 volts instead of 5?
Well, see, I don't want to send the power supply back to them because I'm trying to get them to answer some questions. Ultimately, what I want to do is take it apart. I have a feeling they shipped me a 12 volt power supply that was incorrectly manufactured and put in a 5 volt case. Because I can tell, because more than likely, I'm going to find there's a 7812. Yeah, 12 that's in there and not a 7805.
You know what you can do if you want? Just tape yourself doing it on video, and then you could show them, like, look, this is inside and this is the problem, and take your multimeter, like you're an engineer, and that's your evidence right there.
Right.
If you take it apart.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
It's coming from China, so you're not going to get any resolution to it anyway.
I know that. Well, realistically, yes. I don't expect there to be a real correct response to this problem.
Man.
I'm at minimum, I want them to send me a replacement 5 volt, and I don't want to send them that 12 volt.
And Mike, Brian Frober wants to know who supplied the power supply, like the brand.
You're live on the internet. Blast them right now.
Yeah, it was. Well, you guys saw the picture. The picture on the unit. No, I guess it doesn't say a company. All right. Well, yeah, I can actually say I bought it from Amazon, of course, with a provider.
Mm-hmm.
The provider, the manufacturer of the part is Yantech, Yantech.
Sorry, we're so boring. I saw Troy yawning.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Troy. I will speed it up for you.
He's like, hurry up, Mike.
Yeah, I know.
I just ate this big fat tomahawk steak before I got home.
Yeah, I was going to say you've had a long day and a big meal.
Oh, they're talking about Jolt too. Mike Currington in chat. He's like, "Hey, Jolt Cola."
Oh, that's
for the elite hacker.
About
it. So I think we got to give Troy some.
I need some right now. Hold up.
But you've had a long day, Thanks for coming in too. I know you were driving in on the way, so Troy always makes it happen though. That's cool that he makes it. Sorry, Mike.
I'll finish
Continue.
up. I just thought that
Still
that would be
earlier
a
than
good
Dell.
conversation piece over the idea of, where do we think somebody should be liable versus, yes, we know it's China, so I'm screwed. But I mean, like, let's say it was made by an American company. What do you think should happen?
Yeah,
I think
well,
they
you didn't get
should
it through
replace-
Amazon, right?
replace your board, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
And it wasn't like a Chinese company through Amazon; it was eBay or something. that you
No,
got
I bought
through?
it from Amazon.
Because sometimes
I did-
Amazon can back you up. Although
Yeah.
lately they've been terrible with customer
Yeah.
service.
Well, I'll update people because, like I said, right now I'm going back and forth with the seller itself or whatever the vendor. I can click report that vendor, and I'm kind of getting close to that point, and then we'll see what Amazon, because Amazon actually for me has been very good and stepped in on a couple cases that I've had issue with, and I, as a consumer, I'm very happy with the results I've gotten through Amazon. But,
Well, let me tell you, going back to this contest, Peter at Arcade Parts and Repair, I mean, he's the best. Like when customer service usually answers pretty quickly. If that happened to one of his products, like a flyback or something like that, I'm not speaking for him. I'm pretty sure, he would just be like, here you go. Here's another one. Because he's just
Yeah.
done stuff for me where like, hey, man, this is missing a cap or a pot or something. And he'll just send it in my next order without even asking, So it's part of like word of mouth reputation, really. So
Yeah.
that's what makes a good vendor. So
Well, but in this instance, it's a little bit different though, because it wasn't like Mike just had a bad part. Like something else that was working is physically broken. Like I had bought
I agree. Yeah.
I bought one of those 6100 extension cables from a guy on Clav. Actually, I bought a couple of them from him, and he ended up ultimately wiring them both incorrectly. And luckily, when I plugged it in, it didn't break anything. I didn't fry anything. And after a little bit of a back and forth, he was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did that." He's like, did anything
Wow.
happen? And like he was going to basically, make it right if he did, because he knew that, oh, if you swap certain wires wrong in that connector, you can fry lots of parts in your monitor. So he was going to make it right, but luckily nothing happened. And that's what in this case, I mean, I think honestly, the correct answer is, Mike, if it was an American company and this happened, I think they would and they should, cover whatever they damage, because that's their fault. Like if they tell you it's 5 volts and it's not 5 volts, like,
yeah,
I mean, that bought that power supply, or did all you guys that were doing the Barcade build buy the same power supply?
this has
You're asking
nothing to do with the Barcade. This
Oh,
is
okay. Sorry.
yeah, it's not
yeah,
going to do
no.
that.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's kind of the similar brick, but it's different. It's made for the what is it? The 10 board. Is that what got fried? The Mister. So he's building a Mister. Yeah, the
it's
RMC, which is
the
Retro Man
Mr.
Cave.
It's the multi-board, the board that does all the stacks that you would put on the FPGA board itself to do all the other stuff. This is all in one.
Yeah.
And so yes, as Brian said, for one, it's like a $200-something thing, and it comes from the UK. Well, my friend
Yeah.
DJ, not realizing it came from the UK, said, "Well, can't you just send it to the people who made it, and they'll, charge you a little bit to repair it?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I'd have to send it to the UK. They'd have to send it back, and then there's how long is that going to take, and et cetera."
Yeah.
So it's not really feasible.
And then to replace
So-
it, same deal. I mean, they're pretty scarce right now.
Yes.
I
And
mean,
there's a
mine's
long-
coming on the
there's a long order.
31st, maybe.
there's a
You
long
know.
waiting order list for these. So anyway, I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, I'm going to fix it. Unfortunately, in my case, I'm fortunate. I can recover from this problem. But your average consumer would be screwed. And I'm like, I struggle with that because it's like we said, I'm spending $20 on a power supply that ruined potentially $400 worth of equipment. I say 400
Yeah.
because I don't really know for sure whether the DE10, the actual FPGA portion itself, is 100%. I know it boots now; it still does boot,
Mhm.
but I don't know if there's anything else that's that's
Yeah.
ruined. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, look on the bright side. At least it's the Mister itself and not the custom, RMC board that you got. It could have been that fried if you plugged that in.
No,
or
that's what I'm
something,
talking about. That is what
Yeah.
fried.
Oh,
the
is it?
Mr.
Okay.
Custom
Because it
board
said
from UK.
Mr. Oh, I thought you put the DE10 right on that, and the DE10 is what fried.
No,
Because when I saw the screenshot, I thought it said Mr. on it. But I guess it's for the Mr. So I
I
misunderstood.
got the Mr. box right here. I mean, so this is. I can show you real quick. So this mounted right here is just the Mr. If you see, the problem is people erroneously call this the Mr. That is a Intel DE10 Nano board, and they're required for any and all Misters. But then you need all these stacks to do things like video output and joystick input. And now what the board from the UK, which is this big board that the blue board's connected to, does all of that in one thing. Well, right here is the blown chip.
Oh man.
Okay.
So yeah, that's worst case scenario right there.
Yeah, it's on their board, not on the DE10.
Oof.
So, like I said,
I mean,
I'm fortunate because I can fix it.
I'm sorry.
I can fix it. But I'm having to wait again because I had to wait for the parts.
Yeah.
And of course, the community. So I'll also say the community's been great. They have a Discord channel, and even Neil responded specifically and told me, the parts that I needed, what they were.
Oh, that's cool.
The problem was the chip blew such that I couldn't read the part number. It's blown the top off of it. So.
Oh yeah, because it's all charred away.
Yeah.
And by the way, Jan Michael Simonson is saying Triad power supplies from DigiKey are the way to go. So didn't you might have gotten that for the other project you were working on?
Yeah.
Or for Jay's. So you know about them, but you figured what are the chances? They worked in the past.
Well, here's the problem with that. And I'll tell you what the problem is with ordering the ones from DigiKey. You have to do your research because, as I told you guys, the right power supplies to get were blah. Well, I was kind of wrong. And the reason why I was kind of wrong is it turns out that those power supplies have minimum load requirements. And it turned out that the thing I was trying to drive it on didn't draw enough power to make the power supply regulate properly. So it didn't generate the right voltage. So that's another whole problem. So, any rate, I'm enough of that topic. I don't want to tie up, but I do have one other thing to show. As you guys know,
I think this is going to lead into your next thing, but Mikey Currington says in the chat, hey, what's that bar top behind Mike?
I saw that.
And I said, oh, that's Mike's Merit Bullseye. So Mikey responded with, that's what I thought was guessing. I've been fascinated by that ever since the sleepover video. And I had to respond with, the sleepover video? That makes us sound so juvenile. I actually
wait. What does a sleepover video look like? I mean, is it Adele's Roundtable or was
that was we talked about it?
That was
that was another roundtable. We talked about the get together.
I was not going to say juvenile. I was actually going to write something else, but then I was like, I'll save that word for later.
It's a PG show. There we go. And we're politically correct as well.
Actually, it's the video with all.
So here's where you said it. You said Mikey Currington. That's his Merit Bullseye. There it is. So so in the background, you can point to it, Mike. There's a bullseye. You could see right there.
I dropped the light here, and you can see the.
Oh, it's on.
A little bit better.
The
it's on back there.
Yeah. So there's two of them. We actually own in the group. There's three of them now, and those are supposed to be kind of rare now because they were an in between product. Somebody was saying.
Yeah, they called it a placeholder.
A placeholder where they were trying to get the what we know as the touchscreen ones, the Merit Mega Touch. Yeah, and they didn't have them out quite yet, so they just made those really quick. And I think it's a great game. It's really cool and fun. It's one button. You just shoot the dart and you let go. It's all timing and great bar game, great hangout game. It's really cool. Wish I had
bought mine like 20 years ago, maybe 21 years ago. I bought it off of eBay in the old arcade and just had it sitting there for years and years. And then it got shoved underneath the counter. Nobody touched it for probably 10 years or more. And then I brought it back out here to the new arcade and it just became a hit, didn't it? I mean, everybody just has loved it.
Yeah, it blew up and then Jay found one by mistake. I think he was looking, but he was like, I can't believe, we thought he was so lucky for getting it. So it's
And then he
pretty
goes and finds another one a month later, 2 months later.
yeah, and then Mike buys it. So I'm glad
If
I got
we
there
ever
in one
want to
piece,
find
Mike.
a game, we just tell Jay about it. Like, hey, pal, find me this game.
Yeah, he started lucky when he got his first arcade game in his house was Star Wars. Like, he's like, yeah, I want a Star Wars. I'm like, you're never gonna find it. That's like a game you get like 10 years in collecting, and then he gets it, boom, right away for a great price.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. I think you bought it right before the new movie came out, right? Rogue One, was it?
Yeah.
Like, what,
So
25
I was
bucks or
telling
something
him
like that?
he was kind of like on the fence, and I'm like, buy it because once Rogue One comes out, they're gonna go up in price, and they did a little bit, and now they're like crazy. So
Hey,
cool.
guess what? I've got live update. Yantek replied, this is the latest reply. Like I said, I've been going back and forth. He actually says, this is good news. This is really cool. He says, we have been talking with the factory on how to compensate. They said that they have discovered that some 12-volt power supplies were accidentally mixed in during their testing.
Wow.
We absolutely want to compensate you, and we are for your equipment damage. We are currently because we want to, keep your customer experience. So we'll see what ultimately really happens here, but that's positive.
Wow, that's
they
good.
They
actually
need to
admitted
recall
it.
stuff and let people
amazing.
know at least.
It's
So-
good that they admit it.
Give out free multimeters or something.
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
curious more about some of those other Merit games in that weird era of time between, the pre-Mega Touch, because the Mega Touch came out and they hit the ground running. But what else is out there by Merit? I mean, I know they did Trivia Whiz and all the iterations of Trivia Whiz and probably a few iterations of poker. But are there any other hidden gems like the Bullseye?
That's a good question.
Oh, that are similar,
I've
you mean?
been hunting eBay ever since this, we've been playing it just to see if there's anything out there. Like, did something pop up? Is something stupid out there? And nothing's come up. I mean, occasionally like a poker game or whatever, but the only other bar tops I see out there that look really cool are the Arkanoid bar tops. But
I like those too. If I didn't have two already, two machines, I would be looking for one because I think they're super cool.
yeah, there's got to be something else out there similar to Bullseye. You'd think, right?
Yeah.
I mean, besides like a heartbeat monitor
Or
one.
like there's the the drunk one where you
Oh, I've
wave
seen
the
that with the
wand on
metal.
the metal bar, right?
Yeah.
And then there's like the love-o-meter where you touch it and they're like, ooh, you are the hot. And people want
There's
you.
hottest, and on fire. Yeah, they're cool. I mean, it's also a small footprint. It's not as big as like an arcade one up, bar top. It's smaller.
Bar top is a lot of fun. Especially in I like where Gibby's got the whole bar area in his arcade. That's cool. I love that. It keeps people hanging out by the bar. And if you were an actual bar, I mean, that's why they did the Mega Touch bar tops, was to keep people by the bar, keep people drinking, putting money into this machine, buying drinks. That was the
it's
ultimate
the Vegas formula, where if you gamble, you're gonna drink. If you're gonna drink, you're gonna gamble. So
But I've got that a blackjack one too that it's not really working all the way, but it's nowhere near as fun as the Bullseye.
Oh, hey, I'm going to share my screen to kind of answer Timmy's question here.
okay, go ahead.
So this was not known to me, but if you guys go into Museum of the Game and you type Merit Industries,
That's Clough. Yeah.
It'll bring up a list, at least, I don't know how complete this list is, of all of the different Merit Industry manufactured games and the years that they came out. So lots of Mega Touch entries. So, Timmy, if you're looking like what other gems are out there, this might be a decent place to start.
But where's Bullseye on the list?
Yeah, it's not
Bullseye's
even in there.
on the list.
Well, it's not on there, but I don't think this exactly goes in order because.
Well, it says Merit Boardwalk. It might be under Merit Bullseye.
This is Merit Industries is the manufacturer in this column. And then
Right, but it's alphabetical. But then they at the bottom where it says Mega Touch, it says Merit on one of them. That said Merit Boardwalk. You see it? Merit Trivia, Merit Boardwalk. Maybe I figured they'd put Merit Bullseye there instead out of order.
I wonder if these are only games that have actually like screens on them, like actually like a monitor or a.
Well, I want to play Sex Trivia and Sex Match 'em Up.
Click on that and see if they have a screen on them.
It's like that mahjong with the background.
Hey, click it.
The
You
lewd
won't
one.
click it
Click
live.
Sex Matchup. Let's see what we get for that one. Cabinet picture need.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. These guys are trying to kill my stream.
Click it.
Click on the tic-tac-toe trivia, because I bet that may actually wouldn't have a screen.
Yo,
Yeah,
TikTok.
Oh, no, I
I've
guess
seen
it
that
does have a
before.
screen. Okay.
I love that marquee. That's so old school.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think I'll have to go in my garage and check. So one of my pinball machines, somebody
Mhm.
like covered the holes in the top of the cabinet with an old marquee. I think it's a tic-tac-toe trivia marquee.
Nice.
Wow. Cool.
Hey, so I know we got off a little tangent, but I have one more little update. Tomorrow Brian and I are gonna install the new IPS screen for my Rick and Morty pinball.
Sweet.
Ooh. By the way, we never officially let the cat out of the bag that you got the Rick and Morty. We said you got
Well,
a
that's-
pin, but you never announced it.
That's
You
right.
weren't here.
You're right. You're right. I forgot about that.
So yeah, he bought a Rick and Morty. Do you like it?
Oh yeah, I love it.
That's great. And what else did you get? There were two pinballs actually, right? There was
Yeah,
that
I got
and-
a Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah, that one's cool. That one I've never played, but the way you describe it, I'm dying to play it.
Yeah,
There's
it's,
that one
it's an
feature you
awesome
said
game.
where the ball has a magnet and it kind of floats across. the
Yeah, it kind
playfield
of like moves around like
then
a
you gotta hit it.
ghost.
in order to get multi-ball. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Hey, we have Darren Wall from the UK on with us.
Cool.
Nice.
Welcome, Darren.
Welcome.
I see Joshua Manypenny too. He was here last time. Yeah, I'm gonna put his thing really quick. It says Darren Wall from the UK here. Hope you are all okay. Cool. If you guys want to do some shout outs, type them in now. I could display them while we're waiting for Timmy to get back.
Roy, Joshua Manypenny's got a question that you're probably very suited to answer, but he says, anyone have any suggestions on crimping tools for making harnesses?
I mean, I love the Molex one.
Yeah, that's like cream of the crop though.
Well, that one that Jeff
a lot
is
of
showing
money.
right now, that's a great one too.
Yeah, let me switch to that. Jeff, talk so it'll ahead, Jeff.
There we go.
Oh, there. Of course, it disappears because of their
Yeah, I
virtual
can't.
background.
Wait, there it is. There, kind of.
Yeah, so that one's pretty cool. It's like $24.95 on Amazon usually, right around that price.
Yeah, this one is.
And it
really
it's a crimper,
Yeah,
so
here's the
it's
real
a ratchet.
one. Here's the real
Yeah,
one.
that's
This
Yeah,
is
Mike,
the
that's
real
it.
Molex crimper, which is awesome. I will admit.
now which is the one that they have for they have one. Gosh, that for Ms. Pack, right? There's a different brand. It's not Molex. It's some other brand that has gold pins.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amp.
Yeah, it's like
Amp.
this.
The-
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So Jay has it. I'm going to switch over to you, Jay. Yeah. So that one, oh, Jeff is making too much noise to see, but I'll switch to that view. Yeah. So the one Jay is holding, or Kapow, you could see that one will not crimp the pin. There's a pin, and I think, yeah, Troy, you're holding it too. That one doesn't smash one of the pins for those amp connectors or those pins. And I learned the hard way. I got the one that Jeff had, and I'm trying to crimp them all in a video. And that video, I crushed them all. I was wondering, how come they keep slipping through? And I had to bend them manually it was just a big pain. But yeah. Yeah, that's the one I can,
The
that's what I
240.
want for Christmas, Troy. This year in 2022.
Okay.
With the Secret Santa.
Yeah, these are awesome because see, it's got the little holder on it. So when you're trying to put in like the 0.156 pins or whatnot, you can just slip it right in here. It holds it for you. Crimp them down, you're done. It's works
Oh,
perfect.
That's nice.
I got news for you though. That is an add-on. We have the exact same model, and I don't have it.
Yeah, well, a lot of them are missing. I've got another pair that doesn't have it. I've got 2 pair that have it.
That's cool. And I know Jeff was holding up. That was the
for stripping
stripper,
wire.
the wire stripper. That's like the vice grip one is the best one. I actually tell everybody on my channel to get that in the affiliate links. It's amazing, that thing.
But the holder doesn't really work on like the barrel pins and stuff. So like having the set without the holder is better, or like the set like Jeff showed everybody, the blue pair. I use those when I have to use like a barrel pin or something.
Yeah. Yep. That's the ones I use. And then but there's a way to use them. I think Jay was saying you can crimp half of it, turn it around, crimp the other side.
That's what I had.
Still a pain in the butt.
Yep.
On your amps. Yeah. But that was only a couple pins, right?
Like 40, but yeah, a couple.
Oh, you did it all. I forgot. Yeah, you did what I did. So you did it the proper way.
What pins are these that you're talking about? I've never had a problem with these before.
So amp pins are different from Molex pins, where they have this extra little like metal piece going out. So basically this piece comes out, and then when you use that, it crushes it so that it'll go into the thing that you're putting it into, like the plastic piece, but it'll go all the way through. It won't stop. This one, it prevents it and it clicks in back, like where it won't come out and it won't go forward either. So that's the difference between them. I found out the hard way by doing them, and I was like, why is this going through? And then when Jay mentioned it, he said, hey, I didn't realize I was crushing them with this crimper you told me to get. Or actually the one I think I gifted it to Jay. I said, here, you can have it.
After
an extra one. Yeah. And then he told me, well, I found a workaround. If you turn it around, do it halfway and do the other half, it still works, but you literally had to do it twice because it's a pain to do 40 pins. So you did like 80, if you think about it. Wow. Cool. So, anybody have any other comments? I mean, I know we were going to talk about those Arcade 1-Ups at CES that were coming out, those full-side pro versions of Arcade 1-Ups that we kind of were like, we still shook our heads because I still see them as toys, but I think they're pretty cool for people who don't want to spend, I don't want to say who don't want to spend the money because they're like $1,000 now, but who don't want to bother with restoring and getting an original cab and all that good stuff. But some of the game lists, I looked at the game list for the Centipede one. I believe, was it Centipede? Yeah, Centipede has a spinner in the upper right, and they have Tempest. They have Liberator on there because of the trackball. So there's pretty good games on there. I think their game lists are getting a lot better, where in the past, like they'd have some random games like, that don't fit the cabinet theme. And they're like, why do you even have that? They did it just because, but it was still pretty cool to see that they're doing that. It's still out there. It's still up and alive.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You sent that article this morning about the Pro line full-size cab. I was actually surprised to read that they've sold 3 million game cabinets since they came out in 2018. And that, like we were discussing this morning on our group chat, they are not marketed towards guys like us. It's a different community of gamers, man. And apparently people, not us, they have found a way to market it and go after a crowd that really likes their product, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, good for them, but I don't know. I don't know. I was looking up because we mentioned the Pro line in our group chat. I had to look it up. So I was looking up the Killer Instinct one. Is that a new one? Is that the
that's the one that they announced at CES this week.
Yeah, so I was looking
Didn't
at
they have a regular
specifications. I was like, okay, let me learn about this. Let me figure out what makes it a Pro. Mm-hmm. Now I'm assuming they all have the 5x4 ratio monitor, LCD monitor. Mm-hmm. Some of the neat features that I wish we could somehow incorporate into some of our own personal arcade machines is the online Wi-Fi multiplayer. Man, that would be awesome. I'm okay with some of that. That'd be
People have been
cool.
doing that for years though with MAME, because it's basically a version of MAME that they have that allows you to kind of go to the internet.
But like I don't want to do it in MAME. I know, Dell, you spent a lot of time in MAME. I have no interest in doing that at the moment. I like that they're calling out the upgraded lit marquee.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that, I'm like,
makes
good.
it
That's where
more-
it should be lit. They've got the Suzo Hap joysticks and buttons, which I don't know what they were coming with originally, but that does sound like it's probably an upgrade.
Hey, Timmy, you want me to work? I think this sounds like a fun side project. How do you like my Pac-Man kit, having the ability to play 2-player Pac-Man through the internet?
That would be a lot of fun. Now,
Yeah.
because Mike, you've played the Pac-Man Battle Royale. I know you have.
Yeah. Oh God, I
Big
love
4-player one. Now, imagine doing that from your own personal Miss Pac machine or your Pac-Man machine.
Right.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Well,
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Somebody-
I mean, that's a killer idea right there.
well, somebody sent me, and I now have it because I'm collecting as many Pac-Man variants as I can get. I now have the one where one player plays Pac-Man, one player plays Miss Pac-Man on the screen at the same time.
What?
You're talking about your multi-board you're working on?
Yep.
On real hardware.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So,
Yeah, and
What do you
incorporate a
think of
little
the idea
Wi-Fi
of-
module on there, and you're golden.
well, I already am going to have that. So I could make it so that the Pac-Man hardware thinks the other joystick, because this is really designed for a cocktail table, right? But I can make it so that it works that the second player's joystick inputs are actually coming from the internet.
Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would. I mean, you might have to set up a server, maybe, but that'd be a pretty sweet thing. So the other thing, when I was looking at the specifications on this Pro model, I know we got kind of sidetracked there with our great ideas. We always have great ideas, and I love it.
And by the way, Ted Hooper says, now that's an idea I can get behind. So,
Yeah, no, I'm 100%, 110% behind you, Ted.
That is an awesome idea.
This, if you buy the Pro Killer Instinct, not only do you get the arcade cabinet, but you get some faux metal T-molding. You get a faux arcade 1-up badge, but you get a stool with a backrest. You get an anti-fatigue floor mat and a licensed tin sign. Now, I don't know about you, but any of my Craigslist finds from the day did not come with a stool or a tin sign or an anti-fatigue mat, unless I stole it from my wife in the kitchen.
Now, I don't
well,
think
for
you- I think-
$1,000, that's
I
how
think
much
I
it costs.
missed it. I think I missed the fact that
It's a
you
lot.
said that maybe you didn't say these are also now actually full size.
Well,
Well,
they say they're
Brian's
full
saying
size.
it's still a faux cabinet. It's still a faux cabinet, and someone asked if it was still particle board. I think it was.
Well, they're full
Mikey,
size means that it's
They're
at
made from particle
correct
board,
height.
right?
Yeah, it's the height, but it is nowhere near full size Killer Instinct cabinet. Full size Killer
No, it's
Instinct
not a
ran
full
25
duplicate.
27-inch monitor.
Right. It's not a full
I
duplicate, but it's the right height.
I made this point like when we were talking this morning. Like to us, the fact that it's a lighter cab, it's not full size, like that's why we won't buy it. But that is exactly why 3 million other people are buying it.
Yeah, you have a point.
I agree.
And
I agree with that.
Want a 300-pound friend, they don't want to collect refrigerators the way that we do, So that's the kind of people it's appealing to.
I do.
Plus
I have to
time.
give them credit for the mostly appropriately sized LCD screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like
not
does
widescreen.
The other part we were talking about earlier, and for those of you in the chat, I will woefully admit that amongst my astute group of colleagues here, I am the only one that actually owns a arcade 1-up product. Now I don't have an arcade.
Oh, look, wait, you're breaking the stream. You're breaking the stream. What are you doing?
I do not have.
Voice just went away.
Is it really messed up? Yeah. I don't have an arcade.
No, I did that on
He's
purpose because you
messing
said
with
that.
I don't have an arcade 1-up game cabinet. I do have one of the arcade 1-up virtual pinballs. I personally will not buy one of the game cabinets, but the pinball had a specific reason I went after it because of the theme around Star Wars, so it fit with my arcade. Now, with all of that said, I personally won't buy one of their cabs, but I do understand, I think, why people go after them, and it's a lot of the reasons.
Ted Hooper says burn him, by the way. I put that right over your face.
The only thing from Arcade 1-Up that I would ever consider buying, but then I looked at the price and was like, no, was the infinity table with the board games.
I thought that was cool too.
That looked really cool.
Yeah.
But outside of that, being the arcade collectors that we are, I would maybe buy one as a toy for my kids to put in their room.
And that's
You
what
picked the right word, toy. That's exactly how I see them. I mean, it's a great toy. It's a cool toy. I mean, Jason, I know he likes his Star Wars 1-Up, and it's really cool, but he does have kids, so I'm like, okay, it's really for the kid. That's my reasoning. That if he had it by himself, I'd be like,
you know, that's for him, man. That's not.
No, that's totally for him. Don't even let him fool you.
I'll tell you right now.
But it is kind of. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. That Zen, it's legitimate because Zen Pinball is a huge player, and they're amazing. And I think Arcade 1-Up paid them to do their thing, and it's a really cool looking cabinet. But I feel the other ones are more like.
I've talked to you guys about that before, and I think that might be the difference with the pins is the fact that I don't think 1-Up actually built them. I think Zen designed them, built them for 1-Up, and then used 1-Up's distribution and marketing to sell the product in partnership with them, which is why their pinballs are such different quality of builds than the game cabinets.
Yeah.
So you're it's a little bit mixing apples and oranges. Whitney from Broken Token, if you guys have listened, there's him and Brent actually talk a lot about the 1-Up cabinets, and Whitney has said that if he were going to buy one, he'd buy the NBA Jam. That was the one that he actually was the most interested in.
Yeah,
for the
that's a big cabinet.
Abilities.
That is.
Yes,
I can see why he wants that.
And
too.
Because of the size, because it was small.
Yeah, the original Midway is like huge.
Yep.
Yeah, I sold one. As a matter of fact, I don't know if Drew's here. Drew has one. I sold him my cab. But that's a great game. But for me, the reason I sold it is because I have a MAME cabinet that that has a lot more, and I don't want to take up the real estate. So Michael here says 1-Up actually works with the original game devs on those 3/4-inch cabs. I didn't know that.
What's there to work?
That's pretty cool.
I mean, I'm
assuming maybe with the artwork
because
because they're actually shaped correctly. I think, especially the centipede one. I don't know if you looked at it. It looks pretty. They even have cone buttons on the control panel, and they put the fire button in the right spot. The original doesn't have it, so yeah.
We chatted about a little bit about this earlier before we went live, and one of the things that I mentioned that I think that I'm kind of hoping is a potential silver lining of the 1-Up thing is they could, eat enough into because you know how, there's always the guys that they buy up the actual real arcade machines and they gut them and turn them into 16-1s, and then they sell them for like $2,000. And you're like, and they're throwing tubes away and this and that. Hopefully, the person that maybe thinks like, hey, I want to get an arcade machine, instead of buying them from these guys, we'll just go buy a 1-Up, and maybe their business will dry up a little bit. And
I have seen those prices come down, Brian.
Yeah. So hopefully, like the people that do that will not be able to really, it won't make sense for them to do that anymore, and they'll stop destroying.
Yeah, there's a guy that rhymes with Bus Made. That's
I was just thinking of that, Del. Have
don't want to mention his name.
Stuff for sale lately? Because I haven't.
I've actually had my hands on it at the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo. Jay was there too, and a couple of them, they were okay quality, but then like the controls, it just felt weird. Maybe it was because a lot of people were playing them, but they're designed really to do that, right? But I felt like the controls are falling apart, and it was probably the first day I was there.
We have a place down in Virginia Beach, right here in Virginia. I did a video. It was one of the first videos I did for my fledgling channel. And, a buddy of mine and we went to do like a walkthrough of the barcade experience that they marketed as Classic 80s arcade games. And literally both floors, all, 50, 60 games that they had in there were all reproduction cabs. They weren't Bus, whatever we said brand, but they were a brand like that, and not one of the game cabinets that they had in this place was a real arcade cabinet. And I was utterly
disappointed. You at first, though, right, Jay?
What?
They fooled you at first. I remember watching that.
It did trick you at first glance.
Oh, this is great! Look at all these great games, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Wait a minute, they're duping."
But
me.
that was, that was a long time ago. I want to say to defend him a little bit, that was his first ever like video
yeah,
he did. And
100%,
he was a little
100%.
green. Now he'd look at it 2 seconds and be like, oh, that's not right.
Oh yeah, 100%. But no,
I
they
could
were
see-
good enough to fool him, though. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, even control panel overlays now. I see them. I'm like, oh, that's not real. That's
And that was in that particular video. That's what did it, was the control panel overlays and then the buttons. And I'm looking at it and like I'm trying to shoot the video and be excited and narrate without processing what I was seeing. And then I was like, this is all friggin' fake. Our FB word. Like none of this is real. And it was very. And the funny thing is, the one real arcade game they had, Jeff, was a Dragon's Lair, and guess what? It was broken. So,
But from a business standpoint, the people coming in, he gets a lot of people. They don't care.
absolutely
They're paying the money to play the game, and he's
right.
he didn't have to pay ridiculous prices to fill his arcade with machines.
And who is it marketed towards? It's marketed towards like the hipster, craft brew drinking crowd. Like, let's go down.
Whoa! I like my craft beer.
Whoa!
He's talking about Timmy.
Hey! As I drink my treehouse here, okay?
Oh, rub it in, Timmy. Rub it in.
No problem.
Yeah, I have some right here actually.
Actually, I still have a couple cans you brought me.
Ooh, you gotta drink those while they're fresh.
Man, I'm like scared to drink them because then I'm like, I don't have any more.
I'll get you some more. You don't worry about that.
Yeah.
And Troy likes it.
Hey, Troy, I don't know if you listened.
Yeah.
Or Gibby, I don't know if you've listened to the
Here's Conky Dong, by the way.
the coin recent episode, but they make mention of Tomahawk in the episode.
Oh, really? I haven't listened to it yet.
So you might want to reach out and be like, "Hey guys, I have one. Like, what do you do to get yours to work? Maybe you can help me out."
Well, Mike started working on it when y'all were up here, but we didn't get too far with it. You remember that, Mike?
Hey,
Yeah.
real quick, I'm gonna kind of change gears a little bit. Did you guys see that I got this? I don't know if I showed you guys this last time, but I got this Conky Dong beer from Mike on Clav. Hang on a second. Not Mike, Northeast Mike. Gleek, the Gleek. He sent me Conky Dong. Can you see that? Maybe I'll bring it over here.
Yeah, bring it to
So
you.
it says Conky Dong, and it actually has Billy Mitchell on it.
Oh,
Isn't that cool? So he sent it to me. He sent me another beer too, which is like a local, another beer that he sent. But I thought it was cool that he sent that. He showed it to me. Actually, we're on the Tuesday group. I didn't make it yesterday because I wasn't feeling well yesterday. Even now, like I'm having like lower back issues right now. I guess it's a change of weather. Maybe it's because I lifted that heavy monitor for Jeff off of my. I might have done this and just like, you hit it and then you like get a crick in your back and it just. So, whatever. So anyway, I didn't go to the group yesterday because I took off from work yesterday. I was supposed to work and I was like, let me just go to bed and get some rest. But yeah, he sent it to me from the group. I said, can you send that to me? I'd like to show the guys. It's kind of cool. So what do you guys want to do now? You want to do some contest stuff? Do you want to see who the winner is?
We should announce the winner.
everybody's itching to know who
Continue
won.
chatting. So yeah, first out, I don't have a graphic I could put on the screen or anything, but I want to give a quick shout out to Peter at Arcade Parts and Repair. Technically he didn't sponsor the video, but technically he's still giving away $100 because he gave me $100 as a winner from a random drawing, and I decided to pass it on and pay it forward. But basically, thank you to all you guys who are out there. It's really cool that you guys are able to participate. I love to chat and interact with the community. So without further ado, I guess I'm going to go ahead. Let me reverse this here so we can show everyone. And I have just a screenshot. So the winner, there's two winners. I picked two $50 winners here. Mikey Currington says, Dell, from all of us, thanks for doing this contest. You're welcome. So here we go. I'm going to just put the screenshot up. Bam. So you guys can't see this on Zoom, but basically we had like 410 entries and Nelson Lopez. So if you hear your name, you won. I will contact you via email. And then you're from New Mexico. And then who else? Michael Defren from Farmingdale, New York. I know exactly where that is. So you guys are winners of the $50 vouchers that you see on the right there. So I will contact you guys via email, and then we'll take it from there.
Cool.
So there you go. So we did have the winners. I will announce it on Twitter. So check out my Twitter. If you guys want to see it and see what it is, here it is. I'm at Dell's Arcade on Twitter. I'll probably post it there, and I might post it on Instagram as well, and on my page on Facebook. I have like a page that I don't really advertise too much, but I have if you look up Delusional's Arcade on Facebook, there's a group there. It's a private group. You can join it. We talk about show ideas, and I try to help you where I can. So cool. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to Dell's Arcade. It's a great channel, I hear. Cool. All right. So anyone else have anything interesting before, or you want to keep going, whatever you want to do, if you're feeling it. I know there's a lot of activity in the chat.
Yeah.
All kinds
I'm
of stuff.
going to ask 3 trivia questions.
Yep.
So I don't know.
You know what? Let's do that. Let's do the trivia. I wish I had sound effects prepared ahead of time, but go ahead.
For those of you in the chat, I got this video game trivia card set for Christmas as a gift. Most of these questions are console-based questions or more of the modern gaming. So I already went through. I picked out 3 questions that are more pertinent to us as classic arcade cabinet collectors. So I'm going to ask the first of 3 questions, and if you guys go ahead and answer in the chat, we'll see who kind of gets the correct answer here. So question number 1. How many characters does the player choose from in the 1989 classic side-scroller Golden Axe? And the guys in the roundtable can't answer this because we asked these questions last week. So how many characters does the player choose from in the 1989 classic side-scroller Golden Axe?
Oh, no kidding.
I know the answer. I won't say it, but... So Brian Frober's saying 2, Snow Kitty is saying 3, Crush Arcade is saying 4, Carl Perkins is 3. So far we have 2 3s. We'll let a couple people go in, and then we'll...
6.
Brian Frober wrote Tree, Tree. Darren Wall says 3. Sam's Arcade Fix, what's going on? He says 6. So what we're talking about is at the beginning of the game, when you put your quarter in, you press player 1, it asks you to choose a character, and there's usually a dwarf, a girl, a guy, etc. So how many are there? So
okay, so how many characters does the player choose from in the 1989 classic side-scroller Golden Axe? The correct answer is 3.
No kidding.
So 3 characters.
No Kitty won that. Woohoo!
Not that one. Okay.
She was first. Nice.
All right, Dale, you got to send out some more $50 cards.
Yeah.
Send them out.
Yeah, I'll wait for your PayPal donation first, Troy, then I'll send them out.
All right, here's question number 2.
Yep.
Developed by Rare, which side-scrolling beat-em-up game was released in 1991 in response to the popularity of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Ooh.
Dun, 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 dun. Crush Arcade says, Google cheaters.
Yeah, you know people are out there Googling it.
Yeah, I have to. Somebody's saying Bearcade got the correct answer. He said
Battletoads.
Battletoads.
There
Yep,
you go.
very good, Bearcade. Your Google foo is strong with you.
Ooh.
And by the way, I will say, who got the first one? Was it Snow Kitty?
No Kitty got the first
Yeah,
one.
so Snow Kitty got 3, and that was correct. Yeah. So this is just for fun. We're just messing around here.
That is that they actually have the cabinet. That's how they knew.
Yeah.
Golden Axe. Okay. All right. And here's the last one. This will be the hardest of the 3 questions for tonight's arcade trivia. Game Boy's launch title, Alleyway, was a clone of which classic 1976 Atari arcade game?
One of my favorite games on Game Boy. No lie.
Really?
I love it. I actually own 2 copies because I didn't think I owned it. And I was like, I gotta buy this. Now I have 2.
All right, so
Crush Arcade,
we have
you're on
only
the right
one.
track, but
So
that's
far,
not
only
the name
one
of the
person
title.
responded, and
Oh,
they
wait,
responded pretty
No,
quickly.
Yeah, you're right. Alleyway, yes. Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
They
Alleyway.
responded pretty quickly with the correct answer, actually.
Crush Arcade took it, even though Mikey
Yeah.
Carrington and Bearcade, as well as Brian Frober, all
Yeah.
did correct answer, and the correct answer is Breakout.
Yeah.
Breakout.
Yep. So it is Breakout. That is the correct answer. Crush Arcade. You got it. So, Kapow, do you want to give us a couple just for the group to see if we can get it and see how good we are with a couple that we haven't heard?
All right, well, let's try this one.
Shuffle the pack.
Panda first appears as a selectable fighter in which game of the Tekken franchise?
2 or 3?
3.
I'm not young
I
enough.
didn't hear the beginning
Yeah,
part. I'm
I'm
sorry.
too
I was
old
worried
for
about
that. I'm
chat.
too old for
Panda
that.
appears in Tekken. It's 3.
I
Panda.
said 3.
Yeah, I said 2 or 3. I think it's 3. I think I'm gonna side with Gibby.
All right, I'll read the question one more time. Panda first appears as a selectable fighter in which game of the Tekken franchise?
Tekken 2.
Let me see.
I don't know. I suck at fighting games.
You know what?
I don't
I
like
remember
Tekken.
playing it on
I hate
Tekken
Tekken.
3 on the PlayStation, and it did not have. I don't think it had Panda in there. So it might be 4.
Did you have to
Brian might
unlock
be
it?
right.
Barricade.
I say 2.
Barricade and Command the Line both had the correct answer. It's Tekken 3. Barricade got it first.
Oh, so Barricade got it,
wait a
and
minute.
also
I got it
Command the
first.
Line got it as well. And then, so Mikey Currington, he's always a comedian here. He said the prize is Dell's Arcade's chat bragging rights, worth at least 25 cents.
Yeah, can we like highlight people?
Get
in
it?
the
A
chat?
quarter?
All right, so
Nice.
this will be the other question I asked.
And just being here makes me a winner, by the way. That's what Retro says.
So this is
Go
not
ahead.
specific to cabinet-based games. This is, and I can't say much more than that. And I did not know this until I read this. So the Valve anti-cheat software was first released in 2002 in support for which modded video game?
Team Fortress 2.
Counter-Strike, or Team Fortress. Oh no, which one is it? Counter-Strike or Team Fortress?
It was Team Fortress.
The correct
It was
answer,
called the VAC system.
the correct answer, Snow Kitty and Timmy get it, is Counter-Strike.
Oh yeah, I knew it was Counter-Strike and Team Fortress. Counter-Strike was loaded with cheaters back in the day.
Nice.
even
That
know
was a
that.
good one. That was good.
Yeah, didn't even
That
know
was
it.
good.
Here, I'll ask one more. Let me see here.
Brian saying Unreal Tournament. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Wow.
Oh, Brian.
All right, hey, well, this one will work. A lawsuit was filed by Sega against the 2003 game The Simpsons Road Rage for its perceived similarities to which other driving game?
Ooh,
Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah.
that's a
Crazy
good
Taxi.
guess. I like those
Simpsons
guesses.
Road Rage. I mean, was this for console or arcade? It doesn't say, right?
Let's say
Simpsons Road Rage was a console game. Or
What's that
PC.
one? Death Race? Can you imagine it was Death
Twisted
Race?
Metal?
well, the correct answer, Mike already got it, as well as Brian Frober.
Crazy Taxi.
It's Crazy Taxi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes the most sense to me.
I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, it's a pretty neat video game trivia set here. Like a lot of these are questions like that.
You got that from who gave you that? Your mom?
Mikey, Monaco GP.
Yeah, your mom gives you the best gifts, dude. She gives you retro stuff.
You know,
No, we're not talking
You know,
about
honestly, I
rage
think it's a
quitting.
great addition
Mikey,
to
not
the,
rage quitting.
I'm almost 50 years old. My mom is still getting me video game stuff for Christmas. It's pathetic.
Well, she's trying to make up for lost time because you just pretty much started not too long ago.
So there you guys have it. That's tonight's episode of Roundtable Video Game or Video Game Trivia.
I like that. That was fun.
I don't know. We should make that a more
Yeah,
regular.
everybody
thing.
give
That'd
that
be
a
cool.
thumbs up for a standard feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that as a standard feature.
Or if
That's
you hate
fun,
it, put
especially
F
when
in
we
the
don't
chat.
know the answers.
Yeah.
We sound, like buffoons, and it's great.
Well, I got to say, when we first did this a couple weeks ago, when we were just, right after Christmas, when I was telling you guys I got it, and I was asking questions, and Dell was like, bam, bam. Like, I was like, oh my God, like this is ridiculous that he knows the answers to these.
Yeah, he was nailing them that night.
So Mikey says, so since Barricade got 3 right, doesn't he get to pick what game we play next?
What do you mean for like?
The game.
Well, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, actually, would a lot of us have many similar titles? I know we don't all overlap, but we could do like a high score of the week.
Yeah,
Just
well,
not, just not Zookeeper, okay?
Not Zookeeper.
yeah, not
Zookeeper's out, and
Zookeeper.
Barricade,
Well,
you
if we
thinking,
could do
I'm not
Zookeeper, I
talking
just
about
Dragon's
I
Lair.
wouldn't participate. I would not participate. Yeah, no Dragon's Lair or Zookeeper.
Next Barricade, next time you ask me a question, if you pick a bad game, I'm not helping you.
Somebody wrote Starcade. That was Mikey.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do like a Starcade mock-up. That'd be funny. That would take a lot of work, but
So
we could
okay,
do something
so
like that.
so for future things, and I say this, I'm putting my teacher hat on. We could do seriously a live trivia in 4 points, as long as we set up the questions beforehand, and we would use a system through. I'm sure some of you know it. It's called Kahoot, and we could broadcast it live. I use this in the school all the time. This would be a great thing to do with our viewers. And we would just have to make sure that we pause long enough for the live feed to catch up. But they could log in, they could sign in and answer questions. And we could do like, 5, 10 questions, whatever, and make it a feature.
Sounds good.
That's cool.
Thanks for volunteering.
We'll do a round table trivia night. How about that?
Yeah, it'll be like a
That'd
little
be
short
fun.
trivia night. And
if you wanted, we could even do it on your channel too.
Yeah, we could. We broadcast it as a live trivia, and that's him guy, and I'll get flagged
That'd
if
be
there's
cool.
any bad things.
That Tim Guy's square table.
That's square table. Yeah.
Wear like a polyester jacket and a big friggin' 70s tie with like a mic in your hand. And
I should totally do that, and I'll try to make sure that I put that together. I'll put Dell to work and have him sync and do effects and whatnot.
It's so much easier with the Stream Deck here.
We actually like the old Hollywood squares anyway, so
we do.
That'd
it'll
be
be nice
perfect.
because they can compete against Dell's Roundtable.
Dude, now we're talking about like brainstorming, like with everybody hearing us live, but we can do a Hollywood Squares like arcade games style where the person in chat will say, okay, I picked Jeff Kinder to be my guy to answer this question, and then he'll say, yeah, that's true, that's false. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just like
and
Hollywood
I can
Squares.
actually look right at Jeff Kinder and say, Jeff, man, what's going on?
Except you're not in that box. You're in that box.
Brian Frober, I love that idea. Brian says we can call it Arcade Feud instead of Parody of Family Feud.
I love
There
it.
you go.
I love it. Actually, this could spawn, seriously, this could spawn a whole new era of live YouTube game show that we do.
There you go.
And then like Joker's Wild, how they pull on that huge like knob in order to spin everything. You could do that except with the twang. We'll have the twang going on, and you'll have to do the bonus round.
We'll reprogram twang to make it,
And it makes a sound just like it did in the past.
Yeah, how on The Price is Right, they've got the girls that hold the stuff up, right? Like we could have Jeff do that in a bikini.
I was gonna say, what do we got for girls here? Jeff works.
Yes.
No, we'd like have him from behind, right? Like with his long hair. You know how they always do that, and then they turn the person around, and the guy has a beard.
Yeah, as Ted Hooper says,
can your
I'd
wife
buy that for
borrow any of
$1.
her outfits for this, Jeff?
So Barricade says, "Can I be the girl?" D-Wax says, "You are the next contestant. Come on down." That's cool. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. So congrats to the 2 winners. I'm going to post them again on Twitter and then email them. And for whatever reason, if they don't get back to me, I'll give them like a week. Because, you got the spam folder and I'll try multiple times. What's that?
Barricade wants to be the girl.
Yeah, he already said.
Hey, before we go, I want to give a shout
our-
out to Brian Frober. He helped me out today on a personal project, and I just want to call him out here and thank him personally.
Yeah, once Brian gets his webcam working, I know he's having issues with drivers forever on his PC, and he's working on a project with work. So if he formats his PC to fix it, he'll jeopardize doing stuff for work, so he can't do it. But once you get it working, man, you could always come on. It'd be nice Same thing with you. We got to talk, Mikey Currington. You got to be on. We got to have you on and hanging out for a little bit. I don't know. I'm not sure how many games you have. I can't remember what you told me. It's been such a while, but yeah, contact me. We'll get together and see what we can do. Be fun. So yeah, so Barricade's officially Vanna White.
That's right.
Gibby's saying. Needs volunteering. Hey. So cool. All right, guys. So I guess we'll end the stream on that note. We had a lot of fun. It really wasn't a subject. It was more open-ended today because we're announcing the winners. So you can check back in the past and see where I displayed it, or you can go ahead and just go on social media and you'll see it. So again, I'm going to switch over here. I'm at Dell's Arcade. So first off, I'll be here on the channel. I'll be telling people to go back to it. And also right here, I'm on Twitter and on Instagram. So, all right. So anyone else? Going once, going twice? We're out of here.
Later.
Did you want to say something? Or you're just saying later? Oh, okay.
Later.
Good. Take care, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye.